The First World War, also known as the Great War, began in 1914 and lasted until 1918. This war involved many of the world's great powers, divided into two main alliances, the Allies and the Central Powers. It was a conflict that reshaped nations and left a lasting impact on global politics. The war saw unprecedented levels of destruction and loss of life. Millions of soldiers and civilians were affected by the fighting. New technologies and weapons like machine guns and tanks changed the nature of warfare. Trench warfare became a common tactic, leading to grueling and deadly battles. The war also had significant political and social consequences, leading to the collapse of empires and the redrawing of borders. Understanding the First World War is crucial to comprehending 20th century history. The causes of the First World War were complex and multifaceted. One of the main factors was the intricate system of alliances between European nations. Countries like Germany, Austria, Hungary and Italy formed the Triple Alliance, while France, Russia and the United Kingdom formed the Triple Entente. These alliances created a fragile balance of power. Nationalism also played a significant role, with various ethnic groups seeking independence or greater autonomy. The Balkans, a region in southeastern Europe, was a hotspot for these nationalist movements. Serbia, in particular, was a source of instability due to its support for Slavic nationalist groups. Economic rivalries further strained relations between nations, with industrialization leading to competition for markets and resources. Germany's rapid industrial growth threatened Britain's economic dominance. Additionally, militarism and the arms race contributed to the growing tensions. Colonial ambitions also added to the friction, as European powers competed for colonies in Africa and Asia. The combination of these political, social and economic factors created a powder keg in Europe, ready to explode at any moment. The spark that ignited the First World War was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. On June 28, 1914, the Archduke and his wife Sophie were visiting Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia. While travelling in an open car, they were shot and killed by Gavrilo Princip, a member of the nationalist group known as the Black Hand. The assassination set off a chain reaction of events. Austria-Hungary, with the backing of Germany, issued an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding harsh terms. Serbia's response was seen as unsatisfactory, leading Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. This declaration triggered the alliance system, pulling other nations into the conflict. Russia, allied with Serbia, began to mobilize its forces. Germany, in support of Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia. France, allied with Russia, was then drawn into the war against Germany and Austria-Hungary. Germany's invasion of Belgium brought the United Kingdom into the conflict. Within weeks, Europe was engulfed in war. As the war progressed, the two main alliances crystallized into the Allied powers and the Central Powers. The Allies initially included France, Russia and the United Kingdom. Over time, other nations such as Italy, Japan and the United States joined the Allies. The Central Powers consisted primarily of Germany, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire and Bulgaria. The alliances played a crucial role in the dynamics of the war. They determined the strategies and military actions of the involved nations. The Allies had a larger pool of resources and manpower, but the Central Powers had the advantage of fighting on interior lines. Diplomatic efforts were also significant, with the Allies seeking to win over neutral countries and disrupt the Central Powers' alliances. For example, Italy switched sides from the Triple Alliance to join the Allies in 1915, influenced by promised territorial gains. The Central Powers, in turn, tried to incite revolts in the colonies of Allied nations. The alliances affected the global nature of the conflict, drawing colonies and territories into the war. Soldiers from Africa, India and other regions fought on European battlefields. The First World War was marked by several major battles and turning points. One of the most infamous battles was the Battle of the Somme, which took place in 1916. This battle was one of the largest of the war and resulted in over 1 million casualties. The Somme epitomized the brutal and often futile nature of trench warfare. Another significant battle was the Battle of Verdun, fought in 1916 between French and German forces. Verdun became a symbol of French determination and resilience. The battle lasted for almost a year, with both sides suffering heavy losses. Despite the immense human cost, the strategic gains were minimal. The introduction of new technologies also marked turning points in the war. The use of tanks, first seen in the Battle of the Somme, began to break the stalemate of trench warfare. Airplanes and chemical weapons, such as mustard gas, introduced new dimensions to the battlefield. The entry of the United States into the war in 1917 was another crucial turning point, bolstering the Allied forces and helping shift the balance of power. The First World War was a global conflict, involving countries from across the world. The United States initially remained neutral, but joined the war in 1917. This decision was influenced by several factors, including Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann telegram. Other countries outside Europe also played significant roles. Japan, allied with the Allies, seized German territories in the Pacific and China. Australia, Canada and New Zealand, as part of the British Empire, contributed troops and resources. Soldiers from India and Africa fought on various fronts, showcasing the truly global nature of the war. The involvement of these countries had lasting impacts, leading to increased demands for independence and self-determination. The war also affected international relations, leading to new alliances and rivalries in the post-war period. The global aspect of the war highlighted the interconnectedness of nations. The First World War was not just a European conflict, but a worldwide struggle that involved millions of people from diverse backgrounds. Several key figures played pivotal roles in the First World War. Archduke Franz Ferdinand's assassination triggered the war. Kaiser Wilhelm II's aggressive policies contributed to the outbreak. Woodrow Wilson's decision to join the war in 1917 was crucial. He later played a key role in peace negotiations. These leaders shaped the course of the First World War. The First World War officially ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on June 28, 1919. The treaty imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including territorial losses and reparations. It aimed to prevent future conflicts, but sowed the seeds for World War II. The war had profound impacts, leading to the collapse of empires. The League of Nations was established to promote international cooperation. The economic cost of the war contributed to financial instability and the Great Depression. The legacy of the First World War reshaped the political map of the world.